Hey traders, welcome to Quad S Trading, and today we're going to go over the trade of yesterday. I was just busy that night, so I didn't have a chance to do it last night, so I'll do it this morning. Okay, so on the 6th, which would have been yesterday, SOPA popped on the scanner. So let's have a look at SOPA. Now, this one here was a little bit of an exception, so you will see that it will trigger a VW2. So your entry would have been here, or if you want to wait for that second pump, it would have been right here in the aftermarket, and it pumped after, and it would have been a stop out. But this reason why it was a weird one, because when it popped that 401, it showed that it had a little bit of overhead supply. So that means some shares to potentially dilute. Now we have a stock analyzer, and if you look at the stock analyzer, right, this one here was analyzed at 436. So that's more or less half an hour after that it popped on our scanner at 401. It shows no dilution. So before we go with the trade, we double check the dilution to make sure that it has not already been diluting their shares. So this one here, for this reason, it was a no trade for a VW1 strategy. However, if you look at the 4-hour chart like this, and we scroll out, right, we were able to identify some different resistance and pivots, right? So you have a missed monthly pivot here, you have some resistance up here, and this is the high of the day, the high of this pump here. So you could have easily entered up in this area here and this area here, and this would have been your stop out if it goes above this. So I only trade the VW1, so I did not trade this one. But sometimes when you have no dilution, you can also skip on the first entry and be like, hey, you know what? If it does go here and here, then I'll play it. And if you were to do that, if you were to go back to the 5 minutes, we see the red lines here. So this is your missed monthly pivot. That is one of our resistance, and this is the high of the previous pump. This would have been your entry right here, and it would have been a nice little win of 26% on that day. So SOPA was would have been a nice trade. Let's go back to yesterday. Where are we here? And this is why I like doing these a day of. That way I don't have to scroll back. This is all this morning. One sec here. Wrong one. Okay, right here. So okay, YAAS. This one here yesterday, which would have been on this day right here. Just there's no actual like real pump and dump. It's just like up and down. The chart doesn't look good. Not a trade. ONMD. This one here was actually a real VW1, so there was dilution, and then when we scanned it, it was still dilution. So I entered here at the 145 mark, and I got stopped out here, which is not a big deal because same thing with this one here. So the beauty of the VW strategy and our pivot resistance strategy is they both work hand in hand, right? So this one here, I got stopped out, but put on the 4-hour chart, and this is the exact same thing as SOPA. See right here? On this pump right here, you put a resistance line here, 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 but this would have been like the range of getting in, and this is your high of that pump. So let's go back to the 5 minute. Let's have a look at this. Okay. So over here, right, you would have entered right here at 297. Now our stop out for the ones that are trading at their computer, or if you have reception on your phone and you're not trading from different areas and you have no reception here, no reception there, it can be a little bit risky. But if you do have full-time reception on your phone, our stop out on these strategies here are almost always going to be 2 candle close above your stop, right? So this candle here came up, it closed above our stop. Not a big deal because it came back down. These are lower. This one here closed above. It came back down. This one closed under. Boom, under, and it tanked, right? So this one here at the 297 all the way down to roughly the 231, 230-ish, depending on when you get out. Because sometimes you want to get out around 745 and plus. That way you can set your limit order and hopefully somebody sells into your buy. Because if you buy at the ask, that means you're going to be getting a worse price. You want somebody to sell in your buy to buy back the shares. So this would have been a nice 20% win. So we would have been stopped out, but you would have recovered some of your losses on that trade. If we go FEMI, and these are all for the VW1 trades. For one, it's under $1. Don't touch it. SPRB, people are probably thinking, hey, I lost a lot of money in this one. Hey, guess what? Not one bit. So as a VW1, right? So it never crossed below and triggered that green, and then it just went bananas. Like it just went nuts, crazy. So, anyways, whoever long this one, good for you. LPTX. This one here was far too quick. And even if you go on the 1 minute candle on this day, right? This is 1 minute pump up. So you would not even be able to catch this if there was any resistance in the past. So this one here was just pretty much just way too fast. So that's it for those trades for yesterday. For the VW. Now, if we were to go in the trade log, which is in our free area, and everybody has access to this, let's go back and see what Sean traded yesterday. So he had TSHA. So he took an entry up in his range. So he identifies these before the stock even goes there. He's well ahead of the stock. So he took a position at 450. It came up. He held it for a couple days. He's like, you know what? Let's just ride it back down. And at 440, he got out. Okay. So this one here, he just offloaded it just to make a small, very small profit. SPRB, he played it on this halt here. So when this stock halted, you do a limit order and you automatically get in at the high of when it opens if you do a limit order. And then he got out right here before the halt. So nice little win considering this thing went to about 160 bucks. Oh, wait a minute, did it go a lot more than that? SPRB. Wait a minute. It went up in the $300 today. Yesterday it went up in the 100, 200. Today it went up to 360. And if you look at today, 4-hour chart, watch. Right here, right, is a missed monthly pivot at 287, at 185. So let's just see what happens at this line here. If I were to go here, yeah. So anyways, in the aftermarket, like I said, we don't trade aftermarket anyways. Very little aftermarket. And some of the stock is like this. We just completely skip it. But he traded this one up in this range, which would have been way down here. Right nice and early. So that's good for him. We got that trade done. It was a win. ONMD, this one here was tricky. You know, it triggered a VW1, but he also got in at a resistance at 151. And then he went back in at this other resistance. And then he actually got stopped out at the 247 mark. So he stopped out on that one there. And then he played it again. Or sorry, this was just to show you that, see, this top and this top here were more or less met. Right? So a lot of times stocks will run back up to these price here. Why? Because whoever buys up here in a bag holding, you know, and they haven't sold, they're like, hey, I'm down, you know, 50-60% of my portfolio. I might as well hold it in case it pumps again. And then when it pumps, whoever bought in this range here, I promise you they're selling. Right? They're just like, whew, got lucky on this one. I broke even when my stock was down 75%. So that's why we like these top resistance points like this, because everybody's offloading. And then yesterday, ONMD, let's just say, so once he got stopped out, he joined back up in here. He went back up here and he closed down here for a nice low profit. So not too bad. He was able to get back some of his loss on ONMD. So anyways, if you like what you see, head over to our Discord. We do live trading every single Monday with Sean. He will answer questions. He will show you why we short sell penny stocks. Essentially, they pump to dilute because they're such a bad company that the banks will not lend them money. So anyways, that's it for today, and we'll see you in the Discord.